Nintendo was born more than 130 years ago, as a small shabby-looking neighborhood store in the heart of Kyoto. Nintendo founder Fusajiro Yamauchi defied conventional wisdom by refusing to sell traditional Japanese items such as tea, sake, and silk. Instead, he followed his artistic passion and decided on selling a rather more controversial product that could, potentially, become much more profitable. Later, his great-grandson would follow in his footsteps by breaking into the video game industry.
Oh yeah.
And he would do it in a big way, right in the middle of the worst possible time, the biggest video game crash in history, demolishing all the competition along the way. This is the story of how the Yakuza, an obscure Spanish card game, and some Portuguese sailors helped give birth to the most iconic video game company in the world. I hope that by the end of this video I have earned your like and subscription. In the 16th century, a Spanish card game called Hombre was becoming very popular throughout Europe. And for a sailor who spent months on a ship, it was a great entertainment. It was easy, it didn't take up space, it transcended language, and above all, you could gamble. And around the time was when the Portuguese arrived in Japan. And when you arrive at a new port, you also take the opportunity to gamble with the locals. Soon, Hombre started to become popular in Japan as well. It was simple, easy, and could be played anywhere. Japanese people loved it. Some loved it because it was simple. Others because it was new. But most of them loved it because of gambling.
Here comes the money.
But as is often the case, the government hated it. It was viewed as a perverse vice of foreign influence that was altering the distribution of wealth and that could shake the social order. So they decided to put a stop to it and banned all cards to play Hombre. But did this stop the Japanese from gambling on card games? Clearly not. They just invented new games with new types of cards, so the government banned them too. Many of those who got into playing card manufacturing stopped making them.
Oh no.
But others looked for ways around the ban.
Oh yes.
They ended up creating new cards with hidden designs. Until finally Hanafuda decks, or flower cards, were born. While Western decks have 4 suits and 12 numbers, Hanafuda consists of 4 seasons and 12 months. But of course the government noticed and banned them. But it was too late, people loved it and continued to play Hanafuda secretly, at home and even in illegal gambling parlors out of sight of the authorities. Over time, the criminals who ran these illegal casinos were given the name Yakuza, which translates to 8, 9, and 3. The worst hand you can be dealt in Hanafuda. It wasn't until the 19th century that things changed after a more open government took power and finally lifted the ban. After that, Hanafuda no longer looked as exciting as when it was illegal. But a 26-year-old artist named Fusajiro Yamauchi saw an opportunity. He believed that it could become popular again, as it was used for playing different games.
Wow.
He was so convinced that he gambled on the idea by selling his own hand-painted cards at his little family shop in Kyoto.
Yeah, boy.
He named his new venture Nintendo Koppai, which roughly translates to leave luck to the heavens. It was considered risky by many, as most of the family businesses sold more conventional products, such as sake, silk and tea. But Fusajiro proved them wrong as his cards quickly became highly sought after. At that time, Hanafuda decks were handmade and very expensive. Due to their illegal past, no legitimate company wanted to produce these controversial cards.
No!
Gambling was still illegal, after all, but it was an exciting entertainment, and enjoyed certain popularity despite it. And the Yakuza began to use Hanafuda cards in their hardest gambling games. Players began each game by opening a new deck of handmade cards.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Nintendo suddenly had trouble meeting demand. Soon, Yamauchi hired apprentices and began mass-producing his Hanafuda decks, even opening a new store in Osaka. The quality and price of their cards really caught the attention of the Yakuza. And with such an avid customer, Nintendo expanded its operations throughout Japan. By 1929, Nintendo Koppai had quietly become the largest playing card company in Japan. Fusajiro retired comfortably in 1929, satisfied with the company's accomplishments and pleased with his personal success, relegating the management of Nintendo to his son-in-law. And the rest is history. Leave a like and subscribe if you want to know more about the history of Nintendo, and how the playing card company ended up becoming a video game titan thanks to the ingenuity of a maintenance worker.